want to first say thank you for being here. This is a super duper special container. I'm gonna dive deep into it as we go. You all comfortable?
Are we good on lights?
Do you want to turn more off?
I think so.
It all depends if I can see my pedals.
Yeah, that one's for her pedals.
Yeah. No, let's leave it for now. So I wanted to share with you first, so you know what is the uniqueness of this container as we're here together in this moment, and I'm learning in my life is this very moment that it's always now, like there's always a now. This now is the most precious moment. So I want to honor this now with all of you being here with me, just feeling your presence right here in the room is monumental for me. And I've already met some of you, had beautiful short conversations, and would love to continue them after. And I just wanted to tap into this very moment and share what I'm being called to share. So I channel my higher soul knowledge. I intend to be an instrument for my higher soul knowledge. And in human design, I'm a projector, which is the energy, the guide, the ones that are here to guide energy and tweak energy. And their uniqueness is the ability to, in the moment, to assimilate their knowledge, but it's not their ego-based knowledge, it's not personality knowledge, it's all soul knowledge. And the higher soul is ultimately the consciousness that we're all here tapping into. And so I've been guided by my higher soul to create a platform and to share this knowledge and to empower everyone I can to tap into their higher knowledge, to their higher soul knowledge. We're all such beautiful, unique souls with powerful abilities. And the fact that we're here in the body is to actually to bring this power into action and to recognize who we are. And in the process of recognizing who we are, we're living a more fulfilling life, and we have the ability also to recognize other people. And in the recognition of others, we learn how to work together, and we learn how to live a more fulfilling life. And in this day and age that we live in, we're being asked to really tap into why we're here. And each and every one of us is so beautiful and divine, and I'm going to do my best to stay out of my own way so that my higher soul can come through to serve you. And so in each and every container that I create, the presence of every body and your souls is actually guiding what needs to come through. And so there's almost like a higher connection where we're meeting up together, where our souls are doing their own work in the soul world. And through the intention to be present and to connect in this experience, I'm very excited to see what's going to come through, because this is all going to be improvised musically too. everything I do is composed on the spot, so it's very, very exposed and vulnerable. And on top of it, the cello is tuned to 432 hertz, which is the vibration, the vibration of the earth, which we actually gonna receive a charge from. So when we listen to music tuned to the vibration of the earth, basically we create a circle between our bodies and the earth. Our bodies is part of the earth, but we're not conditioned to vibrate in alignment with the earth. Most of us are listening to music that's really not aligned with the earth. 440 hertz is not aligned with the earth. And it ends up activating a false sense of self. And in the intention to tap more into the higher self, there's an opportunity to really examine what it feels like to listen to our internal guidance when we are in alignment with the earth. And so one of the experiences that comes through a lot of times is the body actually speaks in this experience. We're receiving a lot of guidance from the subconscious, and as the earth is giving us a recharge, it actually activates our right brain, which is more intuitive, which is where our creativity is, where our imagination is, where is our connection to the cosmos. And the cosmos is really the soul. So you have an opportunity to really intentionally tap into your higher soul and to ask for guidance. And so what we will do is we'll just go into meditation through in the music and invite higher guidance. What we need right now, what we're each one of us are calling right now to listen to. And after I finish the first piece, I will open the container for everyone to share what they're going through. And we'll see what comes through, and we'll just go with the flow. This is all about trusting, going with the flow, and witnessing one another and sharing what we want to share. So get comfortable.
Get this out of here. I'm just going to yeah.
intuition. Tap into your inner knowing, into your soul knowledge. Connect with your medicine. And if there's anything you would like to share, we would love to hear. Is there anything that is in your consciousness that you feel will help us all to connect to in this very moment, that's coming from your higher knowing?
Follow your healthy obsessions. If I may take a moment to share. What a blessing. Thank you so much, Erin, for blessing us with this wonderful magic, peaceful warrior, Nordic Viking medicine. Thank you. You cracked me open. You cracked me open instantly, and I'm ripe for it. I'm very ripe to be cracked open. And what a blessing. Sharing your healthy obsessions came from, we call her Mom, came from Mary. Mary showed up about 7 years ago now. It was in Moab. It's like really cool. Like, you know, he wasn't too old. He was like in his 50s and hung out with natives and did paleo. He was this like goofy white guy and had these tarot cards with cats. Anyways, he told me Mary had a lot stronger Magdalene energy. And then I'll skip the whole story, but what I'll say is back at Wuichi Temple last night, Jordan showed me the bookcase, and he's like, points out this book about like people having relationships with like spirit beings, and like I'm a devotee of Mary, and you know I don't know who Mary is, whatever Mary embodies, the mother, like, and to really fully surrendering. I've been through a really intense health crisis. Just to be totally open, I went through cancer this past year. And I had a kind of scare, and I'm now on a Rick Simpson work protocol, and who knows, but I feel deeply that, like, in some ways, like, she knew she wanted my attention, you know, like, she's my lover in a way, you know, and I'm devoted to her, and she, like, almost took my life, you know, and she said, I need your attention, and for me to look at her, you know. So, anyways, I just thank you everybody for listening.
Wow.
I'm going to share this was such a big thing.
Wow.
Such a big thing that is birthing in me.
Wow.
You know, and she's shown herself so many times, but a really strong image that came through on my 27th birthday, right at the moment I was born. Like, and I saw a vision of the elders, the women elders, like our ancient Europeans, and the whole kept the little Red Riding Hood, and they were like weaving like ancient spells and runes into the robes, and putting them onto the young girls who had just had their first blood, and watching them walk down the aisles in a church, in a sort of ancient future church. And so this is all kind of, but there's a big thing being birthed, and I doing my part in helping re-indigenize and bringing the ancient future and reweaving our rites of passage and all of these things that we know are essential to our human, mammal, cosmic, alien beings, you know.
Wow.
And this kind of work, I mean, it's all, I'm just doing my little part, and I just really want to thank you, and I want to share my story with you, and let you know that that was a crescendo for me with her. And a real, like, this is a rebirth, you know, like almost living my life. I tried, you know, who knows, I of course try to do everything naturally, but I had to just go the whole way and reborn everything.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody. I feel like my egg just cracked, and
Oh,
you
wow.
were the music of the cause. To which I cracked.
Wow. Wow, I'm so grateful to hear this. Thank you for your vulnerability.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, this is what I have been craving for. Vulnerable connection with community and to receive your medicine right now. I just realized that, my goodness, that we need each other so much. And every time when that happens, I'm remembering that again and again, because I don't take it for granted. Because I know it, but I also constantly discover it, how much we need each other. And vulnerability is such a powerful medicine, and I think it's one, I don't know, it's just a powerful medicine to realize that we are so divine and we have such inner knowing of who we are, that even though incarnating here, it's like we came here knowingly forgetting who we are, to rediscover. And in this, I feel like in this time, there's this like thirst for remembrance and thirst for reconnection and reaffirmation and recognition of that. And so it's just like what you just shared right now it's like a healing medicine for this container. And I feel like, because I've intuited I've seen this happen already. I've been in this experience before, and I've basically just asked Spirit to just guide me and to constantly just use me to serve. And this is the container that I've been asked to create and trust it entirely. And so to hear this is why I'm guided to do this. And it's not just for me, it's for all of us. So I really want to recognize you for sharing this. And I'm so with you and resonate with everything you shared. And if I may share also, like I investigate in my consciousness a lot to do with this sound vibration, the earth vibration, and I'm wondering if like it's that, or it's the intention, the intention of creating this space, or is it just like the intention for presence, because I'm devoted to be present here with you guys, and this whole channeling, it's really like my intention is just to disappear, but just to be present with. And so I'm wondering if it's the earth vibration that's activating your intuition, or it's just the intention for healing. But I feel like it's all together, and I'm just so grateful to hear that. And really thank you so much for sharing. That was really huge. Really huge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Reflecting,
Thank you.
projectors projecting on each other.
Yeah, oh my God, you're projected too. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, thank you. Yes, really feel called to also support. I want to support everyone, and the support for projectors is the kind of support that's we really just want to surrender to this time where we're being called to just do the deconditioning work, because it's the planet right now is like it's asking for it. It's basically this whole planet we're living in is like evolving. Earth is evolving as a being, and yeah. So I'm super. It's great to know you're a projector as well, and I intend to start a projector movement here in California. If anybody like to join, and this was so powerful. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Melissa.
Melissa. Thank you.
And you?
You, Ruti.
Ruti.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Will anybody else care to share something in this very moment, or would you like to continue to the next piece? Next piece, I think. And then we'll open the container again. Wow. internal experience.
Yes, I do.
I could,
Go ahead.
I started with this visual of like a hurricane, like an energy storm, and I was like spinning in it and very out of control, and these various like objects and energies would come into the vortex, and I would be kind of distracted and overwhelmed by them, but I was already feeling overwhelmed, like spinning around and around and around. And then finally there was this reminder that I can just sit down in that and be in the eye of the storm, and it can keep swirling around and various things can enter, but I'm not overwhelmed by them. I can just view them, and different people and energies can come in, and I can still just view them. I can sit in my seat and relax. And then there was this moment when like I realized that that was one layer, that was one choice, was to sit down. And there's another choice to lean back even farther and to drop into my heart space. And that took me out of the storm completely. And once I did that, there was this kind of liminal space where I was like on my way to my heart. I was still kind of allowing myself to surrender completely and fall into it. And the image of this being that I recognize as an aspect of me, it was naked and wearing, it had a mask on, but the mask was made out of smoke, and it was moving in these really, in like almost geometric patterns, but very, like I want to say forcefully and like very rigid. And I realized that that was this visual of my mind and like the judge, the critic, very distracting, like taking my attention and almost making me move in the same way, being rigid and like feeling very unnatural, and wanting to have that mask on, that mask of smoke that could change and drift and leave pieces of it behind. And again, the invitation was that I could just drop deeper and not be distracted by that. But it was a matter of allowing myself to fully close even my eyes in my mind, so that I wasn't looking at the judge, wasn't allowing it to distract me, so that I could really just feel the presence of my heart, feel me in my own presence. Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot there. Wow. This is super powerful. Wow. When I hear you say the hurricane, I realized that I also had a similar experience, and I can really identify with what you're experiencing there, as far as the witnessing the storm and really feeling it. It's like it's really here, and it's really scary, and it's this is how I feel also about my mind sometimes. I get identified with all the external stuff that's happening around me, and it's this power that I'm discovering going inside within me of being able to contain it, but it's not taking me out of balance. And that's what I was receiving from your share, and I know also that this inner knowing that you probably that is sensing all that with the sound and with all that comes through with the sound, because this is my mind cannot really process this. This is really truly like it's just a soul connection that you're probably just experiencing, like this surrender to the soul knowledge, and you're like, wait, but the mind is like all this like external reality of all this like, you know, and it can be overwhelming. It can be so overwhelming to make sense of the chaos. And so I'm really grateful you shared that, because I'm so there with you, and I'm so like in awe of that vision, because it's truly so much about like trusting yourself, right? It's like there's something so magical about that experience. Really grateful to hear that, and first I have to say I'm really in awe of this container, of your presence, everyone here. I'm just so grateful to receive your insights and what you're receiving. It's very, I feel like as a collective, when we process these experiences, we get it's a collective healing, and it's empowering for us to hear one another on this level, because vulnerability is, I feel like intimacy in the community is like, I mean, that's one of my dreams is to create intimacy in community, and to realize how, again, we're so connected, and we're actually living this internal reality in a sense of we have so much in common on the inside, right? It's like, it's just magical for me to hear this, and again, with the music, like I just have no idea what's gonna come through, and Aaron knows, like, if it was up to my mind, I would be just like, you know, have it structured in a certain way, but actually the intention of this container is to like collectively work through how to work with the mind as our servant, as our friend, if you will, as our processing tool, and not be a slave of it in a collective way. Right? It's so beautiful. Like and again, it's like sometimes when the shares come through, and I'm just like, thank you, and it's just the rest is just guided from above. It's the mind is not really the teacher. The mind helps us to process how to tap into our higher teacher, if that makes sense. And when we do it collectively, we have like this ability to weave the reality we want together. And my intention of creating this container is coming from this inner knowing that we are that powerful, that we can create the reality we want together. And so, thank you for these shares of everything that's coming through here. Is so juicy. Wow. I'm in awe of it. Would anybody else like to share their medicine at this moment with us? I would love to share, if I may, also my internal experience. The inner child in me, when I'm in this moment of creation, when I'm in the moment of the now, of this is here now, there's no escape, right? There's this like feeling of here I am. My inner child loves that because it's there's something so liberating when there's this desire to trust, the desire to, no matter what kind of situation, where you're like, you know what, I'm just in awe of my existence, and I'm in awe of the fact that I can choose what state I want to be in as a creator. And, you know, this is super exposed, and we're just slightly scraping the surface of the potential of creativity here, because I mean, people that have witnessed this art in different places, they know, I mean, there's just endless of ideas when it comes to, you know, if you have the intention to create from the nothing, you really have so much there to tap into. Like, we are all so like powerful. We have a well within us, like a well of knowledge, a well of ideas, a well of interpretations. And so if I can send you with an encouragement from this experience, is to really tap into your inner well as much as you can. And this is your source. Your soul knows this. We're all so beautiful. We're not conditioned to talk about it. And actually falling in love with oneself, I think, is one of the most essential medicines right now in the world. In the most authentic, real way, not fake in any possible way, like really know yourself. Really love every part of yourself, not just the highest potential of you, but the moments where you feel like you're lost, where you feel like you don't know what you're doing here, or the moments where you don't know if you're in the right place, whatever it is that like my internal experience, sometimes I go from such highs to such lows, and even that I'm just learning to love. Like today I told myself, I said, you know, this day will never happen again, and this moment will never happen again. So if it's amazing, then yes, I would love to rejoice in it more. And if it's not, then let it go, because it will pass and it will not happen again. It just will be always anew, right? New day, new moment. So I carried this feeling today with me, and just in a moment to moment surrender. And it helps me a lot. And because there's no glamour to life. I mean, we like to think But ideally, I bring the intention to be in my light, and so that light is shining. But it's this idea that I'm supposed to always be glamorous. I think that has been really, I ended up having to resort back into what is the truth of this moment. And in this moment I feel that I'm okay with everything. I'm just happy to be alive. And I'm happy to be alive right here with you in this moment and share this with you on this level. And to feel your openness. I do not take that for granted at all. Your presence and your openness. And again, as a projector, is like what we crave. We crave to be recognized and to be seen for who we are, and with all of our imperfections and our humanness. So thank you so much for all these beautiful shares, and thank you for receiving me. And I would love to go into the next piece, and wondering if anyone has anything they want to send into the quantum field as an inspiration for me for the next piece.
Liberation.
Liberation, thank you. Yes. Yes.
as a scuba diver, when I blow a bubble 60 feet under the ocean, comes out the size of marble. When it gets to the surface, it might be the size of a sofa. And it reminded me of a deep impression from inside. And like the deeper I go inside, it's like the bubbles blown in deep water. They hit the surface of my mind in a big way. And it gave me appreciation for going deep and how following the emotions brought by music takes me out of my mind or to a different relationship with my mind. And not identifying with the emotions, but being with the movement of the feeling inside, brought on by the spirit of music that you bring through so beautifully, allows for the opportunity to go deep and receive deep impressions. I just really grateful for the space, the liberation in the space to really more deeply appreciate the sort of purpose for going deep and the freedom to be. I felt like I just really lined up. And then the music itself became kind of a hologram with the pulse of the music, the pulse that you craft, the texture, like the mind and its constancy, and the bow and the emotion, the synergy. The spirit of music and the crafts that you have to bring it together really helped me to appreciate where it all just kind of comes together. Can't put my finger on it exactly, but deep impressions and going deep have a great purpose, and music is such a vehicle to get there.
Wow, yes. Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm in so much gratitude right now. So grateful for what is coming through for us. And I feel really held right now. And I feel high. I feel high from what you said, because yes, it's we have the keys inside of us to everything. I'm just really in awe of the human journey. I think that's what I'm getting from what you're saying, is that's presence, being present together, being in the moment of creation, present together. And in this case, it's like creation is coming through me, but it's not really me. It's just, I am just a vehicle here. And I'm in this experience of observation with everybody else too. Like, I have major experiences during the performance, and they're all just like mind blown, literally. Like, it's this feeling like how powerful it is when I'm aware of my mind, but it's not my master. And I just feel so in awe of the experience of observing my mind and of the experience of observing my existence, that somehow through these containers, through this intention of being present and vulnerable and just like super in the moment with it, it's just, I get like this most awakened understandings about life. Like, this is my spiritual practice. And it's really, I just created this in a way as I was being guided to offer this as a container for spiritual empowerment for everybody. Because I just could feel the medicine that was coming through, and it's almost as if I just didn't even want to put my mind into it. I just wanted to be the observer, allowing myself to be a vehicle for channeling. And in all of this experience, I'm just like tapping into so much gratitude, because it's the presence of everybody that allows this. Because sometimes I like to describe it as if like your inspiration, your presence is feeding me and giving me this fuel through which I'm able to translate something as like the soundtrack of your life. Each one of you is getting your own medicine, and you're processing it in the way that you're being guided. And I just love to be part of that process. It feels really, really fulfilling for my inner child as a composer and as someone who I'm coming from the performance world, and as I started my spiritual journey, I tapped into the power of creativity as the fuel for expressing my authenticity and my soul. Because I was more coming from a space of, in my childhood, I was just kind of like a product in a way, like how we sometimes we want to be someone, right? In the kind of like in the experience of life, and from my mid-20s, I discovered a deeper way of looking at myself, which basically was just completely had no identity, I just basically was willing to consider exploring that I'm not what I think I am. And in that journey, I was really liberated to discover the vastness of who I am, and that is what's really guiding me right now. It's the inner knowing that I'm not what I think I am. And there's something really, really, really freeing about this, because of course, living on this planet, we all want to be loved and recognized and appreciated and adored and everything. But then there is this sense of I'm grateful to feel this regardless to my environment. I'm grateful to tap into this magic on my own, that I can always find safety in my body. I can always connect to my body as the connection. It's my body is really helping me to tap into this knowledge. And so everything that's coming through today is it's just needs to be expressed. So first of all, thank you so much for your share and for your presence. I'm kind of overwhelmed in a good way right now by everything that's coming through, and I feel like I would love to also bring the element of just asking for your guidance in what do you envision for our co-creative potential right now in this time, as far as community. Like we are here as a community, right? We're tapping into this space together because we recognize something. Erin was with in the experience that the container that I facilitated on Saturday, and was so with me. I felt your presence with every part of the experience, that you had this vision that you were like, I want to continue this. I feel like there's medicine to be shared. And my question, I think, to you is I would love to hear your insights as to what do you envision as far as like us tapping into our powers collectively, us in the sense of like we now are able to do anything we want. And if we could do anything we want with our powers, what would you like to do? How would you like to see this evolving? And I'm hoping this question is clear, because it's very open. I'm not really even sure what I'm asking, but it's more about direction. Does this make sense, what I'm asking?
What I'm getting is breaking down barriers between groups. I mean, it's easy in a setting like this where everyone's so loving and shares common values and even a similar background, but there's so many opportunities to break down more barriers through sound and music and touch people's hearts so that there's less division, fear. That's what I'm getting.
Yes, absolutely.
That was the word that was also coming up for me, was unity. Like unity as aspects of the one consciousness that we are here for and because of, and how music really kind of allows for a dissolution of that ego identification, the structure of the ego, and then melding and melting into this presence. And that's, I think, what I would love for us as a container, but also as we bring our medicine into the world, is to just remember that fluidity of that source kind of moving us through the world, and to keep it soft. And there's a time for discipline and practice and all of these sort of quickenings that help mastery, and then there's a time to flow with it too, and it's all, as orchestration. But the word that really came through is remembering the unity amidst it all.
Thank you.
That was the same thing for me, was unity. And then she said community, and I was like, oh my God, what we all have in common. Community. Common unity. Like music is a way, it's a way that we all relate and are in common in relation to each other. it is a unifying field. It's so amazing.
It is.
So amazing.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think also that this this vibration of 432 is so healing. It feels very different from me as an experimenter. I many years played in 440, and that's what everybody did. I didn't even think of much of it. That's what it was. And then when the moment when I started reading and investigating about 432, I thought, oh, interesting, I'd love to try that and see how that feels in my body. And I can tell you that the first thing, even before I started playing, it took a lot of my productions. I'm also a producer that I've worked on in 440 that's already been even released. I took it and processed it to 432, and I'll listen back and forth, and I'll be kind of like really paying attention to the differences. And what I felt was that when I was listening to the music in 440, it was like kind of like pumping me to kind of like think about more like my ego was activated, you know. I was just feeling kind of, oh yeah, it made me feel good in a way. But 432 didn't have any of that. I just felt everything in my body. I felt every note. I heard everything clearly, and all of a sudden I had this like just clarity of all the parts of the music, and I felt it in my body. And that was the first indication that 432 hertz, I could really feel it in my body, and I was so enjoying that. And then I started doing it with a cello and started experimenting, and I would tune it back and forth, 440 and 432, and I just felt more at ease in 432. I felt more in my body. I felt like I could breathe better. I felt like it's nurturing me, and I felt this sense of trust. And as a composer and improviser, it's so crucial to tap into that. So that has been my experience with 432, and I think that's also part of the medicine that's coming through with the music, is that frequency that we can benefit from. And I want to invite you all to check out 432 hertz. There's a lot of music. I also have some CDs that are in 432 hertz, and there's lots of music that I have online. And I would love to invite you to meditate with that on the earth when you're like in your nature time by yourself or with someone, and just listen to the music and just let it speak to you, let it invoke your inner knowing through your body. In fact, I'm about to release an album called Music to Move Your Energy that's very danceable, and it's created to make me move my body, because I was kind of like, all the music that I've ever produced was music that was intended to help me, and it's really a blessing for me to release and to share what's helping me, you know, as a, whether it's production or whether it's in doing this composing on the spot and having fun in front of an audience. So yeah, I'm just feeling into this moment and into your beautiful presence, and I'm just so in awe of what just happened. And also wanted to share that if you're called to share about this experience with others, or you'd like to create this container with others, also let me know. This is something that's really very much about having the experience can give you the ability to recreate it or to invite people. 'Cause sometimes it's I think it's just it's a wonderful opportunity to share this, like Erin was sharing it today with all of you after experiencing it on Saturday. It's always so different because it's the presence of the people that's really inspiring all that's coming through me. And I'd love to share this medicine with as many people as possible that could benefit from this and could really pay it forward in a way in the world. And yeah, so I'm inspired to share that all with you, and if anyone also has any suggestions and visions that you're having as far as sharing this with the world, or if you wanted to collaborate and co-create with me, this container, this platform is very open. It's open to collaborate, and occasionally I play with different musicians in 432, and it's all improvised as well. And also connecting a lot of the knowledge in my private sessions. I also do this privately. I connect this also with human design readings, which the music is basically processing time for the reading, which it's kind of something I just recently came up with because I'm so in awe of the human design. It's actually what inspired this container. And if you like to learn about the human design, definitely I encourage you to check it out. It's really helping me greatly to be here in front of you and just be myself entirely. And yeah, if you have any questions, would you like to hear another piece, or would you like to have some food right now? How are you guys feeling?
One closing piece.
One closing
One
piece?
more.
Okay.
Over face. Then we
How-
have lots of food and chives.
How did you feel the alignment with liberation? The last piece, did you feel the liberation in the last piece?
Yes.
You did? Okay, well, if anyone like to share any vision, okay. Let's go for the vision. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Whew.
I also feel rebirth.
Rebirth.
Yeah,
Rebirth. Whew. Your presence is really powerful, I have to tell you. All of you. It's just
They're good spirits.
I'm just like, I don't know how to explain this in words. It just blows my mind, all the energetic parts of this experience, and your presence is the biggest part of it. Each and every one of you. As projectors are very sensitive to their environment, we're like sponges. We feel everything. And so here I'm actually putting myself in a position where I invite your energies to guide me, if you will. Because I'm just really grateful to have this experience. You know? It's like, it's really, truly,